Grand Rising family, it is 6:06 on the clock, and we're going to go into lesson 5 today. Lesson 5 is the law of the circle versus the throne of empire. So let's begin. The law of the circle. In the beginning, all things moved in circles: birth, death, rebirth, moon, tide, breath, and sun. The circle was the law. It meant equality, continuity, balance, and shared power. No one stood above another, for all stood within the whole. Then came the throne of empire. They broke the circle and built the pyramid. Hierarchy, ruler, ruled. The throne said, worship upward, fear downward. And from that moment, the flow of creation was interrupted. Now here is the empire's design. Hierarchy, one above, many below. The separation, male from female, human from nature, heaven from earth. The ownership, land, body, soul, claim instead of shared, and fear as glue. Keep the people divided, and they'll never remember the circle. Now divine orders return. The circle restores what the throne divided. In the circle, all roles are sacred, no one higher, no one lesser. Leadership becomes stewardship. Power becomes flow, not control. The feminine flame sits in the center while holding the balance steady. Now here's the practice for the collective. Gather your family, friends, or community and sit in a circle. Place one object in the middle, a candle, a crystal, a cup of water. Let each person speak one by one with no interruptions. When all have spoken, say together, we restore the law of the circle. No throne above us, no chain below. We move as one. Okay? So pretty much what this goes is explaining that what Empire tried to do, what basically did, because they were successful in their tactics, they wanted to have sole control over your household more so. What they say goes. What you go by is what they put out there. You already came into this world with a set of rules based on empire, instead of having the natural flow of the divine continue on. So what I want to explain in these lessons is that get away from the mindset of that the empire has provided towards us and get back to self-knowledge. You already come into this world already self-aware. Dive deep into what you have. We keep continuing on in this vicious cycle again, having empire set our whole concept, our whole life. And the divine does not want that. The divine never wanted that 333 on the clock. The divine wanted us to go into the natural flow. And it's going to come naturally, but if you sit, for instance, let's say you're going with something and intuitively you know this is the right way, but because empire frowns upon it, you push back. You're going against the divine. You're going against the Most High. And for a lot of people who want to say, I abide by the Most High, I abide by Source, I abide by the powers that be, when you're listening to anything outside of that, outside of Source, because Source is in direct contact with you, then you're not, whether you like it or not. And this is where a lot of people in religions get it caught up with, because they are listening to something that was scripted for you to remember. You know how with mind control, that's pretty much what a lot of this is mind control. The book is mind control. If you keep following a set of rules and a set of bylaws based on what somebody else gave you, then you're not going by the divine. You're going by what is being indoctrinated to you, what is being told to you. So this is where we're trying to get people in the mind that everything that the divine has gave is already within you. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop questioning it. Remember, bring everything back home, because everything is, like I said, your household is so sacred. But the problem is that if you are in a one set mind frame and you understand the awareness, and as everybody else in your household has a different mindset, they are okay with the indoctrination, they're okay with the literature, they're okay with the verbiage, then there's going to be a disconnect. And so this is where, when you build up your generation, you want them to remember everything and all answers are within, not without. And this is what I've been pushing in a couple of my other videos as well. And every time the assignments keep coming back to where empire really took control over our lives. And we're not seeing what is already genuinely being ingested into us, was being heavily sent. Let's put it that way. Don't question yourself. Ask questions though. And like I said, all the people who made this indoctrination or made these set of rules start asking questions. We have a tendency of just letting things happen. We don't use our voice. We don't use our throat chakras. We don't use them effectively the way we need to. And if anybody in these religions, if something doesn't sit right, start again asking those questions. So when empire got involved, instead of letting the thing naturally flow the way it's supposed to, because we are automatically being guided by the divine, this is where the disconnect comes in. And this is my purpose. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to get y'all to get out of that mindset of empire and to get back to the basics. We need to go back to the basics and listen to within. You have everything that is in you, like I said, intuition, your thought process, putting two to two together. Never question yourself, never doubt yourself, because you yourself is already providing the answers. Okay? So 6:13 on the clock, I just want to say in this one, before I do my closing, we're going to talk about tomorrow, lesson 6, the return of the elemental guardians. And we're going to go deeper into that. Yes, everything around, from the elements, even the birds, everything divine provided here as clues, as messengers, as signals. Don't look at them just as birds that's flying about. Really pay attention when you see certain flying insects. You see birds, you see plants, everything that the wonderful divine has provided us. These are signs, whether you know it or not. I, right now, for some that don't know, I have a walnut tree, a black walnut tree here. Spiritually, it's a protector. Okay? And this tree been here since before I moved here, so the divine knew I was coming here, and the divine put a tree here just to make sure that I was going to be protected, because they knew I was going to be going through a lot of spiritual warfare in this house. I need y'all to look at things like that. Take the elements, take nature as a way of guiding you with certain things. Get out those books. I'm imploring you, even if you don't want to listen to me, at least take what I'm saying into consideration. I really want you to. A lot of people, it's going to fall on deaf ears too, because you're so heavy into your books, into your religion, and even what they state. But I really will implore you to really listen, to see what I'm saying, and see that it's factual, it's actual, you know? So, to the Flame family, to the Spirit team, Supreme Rising, I speak truth, and I share.